welcome to another episode of Trophy Fish Hunter. We're here on Lake St. Clair. We're just getting ready to head out right now, day one. We're with Matt Firestein of Whopper Stopper Musky Charters. Matt is a legend on Lake St. Clair for musky fishing. I've got a good friend of mine, Rick Patri, with me. Rick is from LA. Rick's never caught a muskie, so we're going to change that today. Rick is with Lucky Tackle Box, a monthly subscription service for fishing lures. So stay tuned. Trophy Fish Hunter starts right now. Oh, there's one. Right at the boat. Right at the boat. Small one, really small one. Yeah, he came out of nowhere. All right. Nice. Dinker.
Free school.
Okay. That was awesome. That fish came right from under the boat. I never saw him until the last second, then he just darted out and blasted the bait. Not a big fish, but that broke the ice. And what's so funny is Matt just said, guys, get back up and cast. We're right at the end of a minor moon phase. Need to keep fishing. Now 2 seconds later, Rick Patri had a follow, and about 5 minutes later, I hooked this fish. So there we go. First fish of the day.
Boy, what a dandy. That thing came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, he just came from under the boat.
Nice.
I was just going into my turn.
Yeah, Great Lakes strain muskie. Nice spots on it and everything. Yep. That's why you always got to hold on to the rod, because you never know which direction they're going to come from.
It's so true.
The equipment's pretty expensive. Even a smaller fish can put a heck of a jolt on it with no drag on there.
Very true. All right, let's get this fish back in the water. Just exploded off. I love that. That's the best part of musky fishing, when you see a fish just bolt off like that. You know they're none the worse for the wear. If you don't have a pair of release gloves, I strongly recommend you consider getting a pair of these Muskie Armor gloves. They're just fantastic gloves. They're essentially glorified golf gloves, but what they do give you is that iron grip on that fish. It bites into the slime so the fish can't slip out of your hands, and it stops you from getting these cuts, you know, the gill raker cuts you get at the top of your hand. And the other thing it stops is any kind of catastrophic injury. I only use one glove, just the one I'm going to grab the fish with, which for me is always my left hand. The other one just sits here, but they're really a cool product. All right, let's get back and get another one. You know, Kat, this is such a huge lake. I mean, what, 25 miles by 22 miles or whatever it is, and you brought us to a bunch of great spots. How do you find these spots? What is it that you know, brings you to these different locations?
That's a good question. This lake can be really overwhelming for a lot of people. It's 260,000 acres, but it's sort of knowing the dynamics of the lake and then understanding muskies, how they'll spawn in tight, they'll slowly move out deep and then back in. I guess 18 years of trolling and casting for them sort of show you where the bait is, and that's really all we're looking for is bait. The bait will be set up oftentimes on mud lines or color lines or current areas, and knowing those different areas and how the wind affects the lake can oftentimes cut your timing to find fish in half. So, and year after year, you know, certain areas seem to be predominant at certain months, but all in all, as you're looking for bait, and you'll look at it with your sonar, and you're also trolling for them, catching them. So those different things are sort of how I find the baits, where everything's at, and you've got all sorts of, from white bass to gizzard shad to regular shad to white perch to just all sorts of different feed for them, sheephead, sucker, and that's what you're sort of trying to target out there.
quick update here is we've been working our butts off, and we haven't really seen very many. We just got a small fish, and then Rick's had a couple follows, so we've actually made contact with 3 fish. But as Matt's been saying all along here, that this last week or two out here on St. Clair, the action's been much better in the afternoon than it's been during the day.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about equipment out here. I'm out here every day. This is my job. And I get clients that don't get to fish a lot. And I've got to tell you, the equipment makes a crucial role on the success of the trip. The baits dictate the rods. I get so many people that'll come in and say, yeah, I just got a new musky rod. And I don't know, they always understand that the baits dictate the rod. Out here we run all Bulldog series rods, Pro Monster, Pro Heavy, because we're running all rubber. It makes it really easy to throw the big baits. It's got a nice, lots of backbone, and then it's got a fast action. You can load this blank up and just toss it out. Very, very easy. So what I always do is I put one on the end of the rod. I load it up, get a little bend in the rod, and I'll just, like a fulcrum, throw it right over my shoulder, nice and easy. This rod does all the work. It does all the work. At the same time, it's very, very durable. Great on the figure 8s. It's 9 foot. We also use 8/6s. Great for the figure 8, keeping them down and away from the boat. So a lot of times your equipment and your technique really can dictate how your fishing trip goes. So check out the Bulldog rods. They're phenomenal, phenomenal rods for throwing big rubber. And they've got all sorts of lines that can help you be successful when you're out there on the water chasing Miss Big Toothy there. To your right.
Fish. He's on. I got the net. I got the net. I got the net. I'm coming. Oh yeah, that's a much bigger. Oh, hold on. We got a problem with the net. I'm doing my best, but the net's messed up, dude. Okay, I got it. I got the net. Oh yes, a little bit better fish there. Nice job.
Long and skinny.
What a great call to move up ahead of where we had to follow. That was like, what, 5 casts later, you got a big fish in the net?
Yeah, it's got a real big head on him.
It's a huge head and a skinny fish, but it's a nice fish, man. Good job.
You know what I might do is just set him in the live well. Hello,
oh man, it's bigger than that. 50. Right on 50.
50-incher.
Look how skinny he is through the back. He's got a couple lamprey scars on him. Man, he's got a big head on him. That's a big fish,
nice
dude.
One. Well, out here in the Great Lakes, where you get some wave action, sometimes it's really hard to work on fish, and that's where these big live wells are really nice. So you can get them out of the waves. You're not dragging them in the net. You can put them in there and just sort of keep them upright. You don't have to hold on to them. You don't want to stress them out, but just sort of keep them upright so he can stay on his own. And oftentimes you'll watch their tail, and you'll even be able to see him if you turn him, if he fights his way back, that they're ready to go. And you sit here, let them get oxygen, and work with them. It's probably one of the most traumatic things these things will ever go through is getting hooked or the rigors of spawning. So you can see how we use this live well on this fish. So we're going to try to let her go now. See how she does.
Good deal.
Let's hope she goes away and tells her big sister to come back and see us.
Her big fat sister. That was a big fish, Cat.
Another nice Lake St. Clair fish.
Yeah, that
little
was
skinny one, but a big one anyways.
That was over 50, just about an eighth over 50. That was a big fish.
Great net job, bud.
Yeah, right. right, it's getting to the end of the day here. We're gonna wrap it up here in the next few casts or so. We had a pretty decent day. It was a little bit tough, but we got 2 in the boat. We saw probably about 8 fish or so. And tomorrow we're gonna try something a little bit different. We're gonna troll tomorrow. Totally different technique. We're gonna show you how to do that out here on Lake St. Clair. It's a very effective technique. My guess is we'll pop a couple good fish tomorrow too. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Smorgasbord today, fellas. We're gonna be smoking and joking and catching some monster fish.
Trolling, yeah, you just put a bunch of lines out and you drag around the lake. It's not that at all. This is about as high tech as it gets. We're gonna run 10 lines today, so my guess is you'll have like 4 on this side, 4 on that side, and then 2 down rods. So you get to be 10. But anyway, you could, if you had enough people on the boat, you could be running 5, 6 lines on these things, no problem. And they're staggered like every 15 feet or whatever. So you're covered. I mean, this boat's, it's a huge boat. It's a 10-foot beam. But this is like having 6 boats trolling together. Okay. All right. Fish, sure, Rick. This is a better fish, Rick. This is a way better fish, bud. Move. I guarantee you this is a good fish. This is a freaking really good fish. I see him out there. This is a monster. Awesome. Just take the line. Yep, keep the rod high.
A little bigger fish. You get a real small fish, they're not much of a tassel.
I think this is a good one, man.
Might be.
I think it's 54.
Oh my God, that's a big fish. It's not hooked well at all. Keep coming. You got about 3 more feet, Rick. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. More. Barely hooked. No. Oh my God. You got him. It's a monster.
Not very impressive. Oh,
44?
Yeah, look at it. See if
short and fat.
There's no way it's better than 44. 44. I'm arguing with a guy that's caught about 6 million of these, but it's a big fish. It's a really good fish. We've been trolling for a while.
That's awesome.
We had 2 quick bites and then it kind of died.
Hey, we got a nice one here. This nice big. I want to show you a couple things on it. One, the slime coat on a muskie is vitally important. It's like a layer of their skin. So we're going to we got our bump board here. We're going to put a little water on it. Make sure we don't lose any of that slime. And we're going to grab this fish. Big live well, lots of air running in. We're going to put our hand inside its gill and then in this little ridge. Now his biggest teeth in the mouth are there, so you don't want to put your fingers up this way. And you're going to slide him out. Hold on, because he's probably going to move. We got about 45, 44 and a half, 3/4. We'll put them right back in there for a second. 2 reasons for that. One, these boards are really, really slippery. So when we're going to get the pictures, 1, we want to just give them a little more oxygen. 2, get that out of the way so nobody falls down. Now if you can notice over here, we got all our tools. If there was any reason when we're getting the hooks out, we've got our cutters, we've got pliers, linesman's pliers, we got everything right here, right where we're working on the fish. There's no running to the front of the boat to get this or that. This is our workstation. So when we grab them, one of the things we'll have Rick do is grab this fin right here. He's going to hold them up like that, push his belly out so she looks real fat. Nice, beautiful Lake St. Clair muskie. You don't want to keep them out. Always maybe a breath of air, get your pictures, have everything ready, take the pictures and get them back in the water. They age very slowly, so it's very important to protect the resource.
That was killer, man.
Yes.
All right.
Amazing.
You know what? I started to wonder, but I shouldn't have, because Matt never fails. That was a big fish. Our goal was to get LA Rick a big muskie, and that's a monster. I mean, 45 inches, and it is fat all the way through. That's a big fish by anybody's standards.
Amazing. Best experience ever.
Rick, this is our celebratory cigar for your giant muskie you caught today. A fine, nice smoke for a fine, nice fish. Great to have you out here battling the beasts out on Lake St. Clair, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, good times.
Next time, 54.
I got a story if we get one.
You know, yesterday we fished about 14 hours, total hardcore casting all day long, caught a couple nice fish. I'll tell you what, it's really nice to get in this boat right here, do a little bit of trolling. Matt, how many people can you take out in this? This is a huge boat.
Groups of 6, and then you have myself and the first mate. So usually we might have up to 8. 5 is probably a little more comfortable for the party size. We control everything, so all they can do is reel in fish and have fun with their family. It's a great way to build camaraderie if it's in a corporate setting, and it's also a way that you know, you can get out with young people, family members, just for a nice day on the water. So it's a great way to cover water, a great way to catch fish. June, July, and August we usually average 8 to 10 muskies a day on a typical year. The average fish is around 39 inches. So it's usually, for people that haven't fished muskies a lot, it's a fish of a lifetime. It's over 3 feet long, and oftentimes we'll get bigger ones. So it is really comfortable. It's nice in bad weather. It's great for all sorts of settings, and if you like reeling in fish, it's fun.
Yep.
But there is, being a purist, I think I enjoy casting more.
Yep.
But certainly in the right situations, I mean, we catch a lot of fish doing this. So.
Afternoon bite. All right, I'm gonna bring them to you, and I'm just gonna come straight back.
1 second to get the weight, and then you can. Yep, you got him.
All righty,
Another dandy.
another good fish.
That's a $9 purse.
Oh, he unhooked himself. He's a lively guy. All right, we just bump boarded it. It's like a clone of Rick's, just a little skinnier. It's about a 44-incher also. So we're gonna get her back in the water and She is raring to go. So here we go. There is so much forage in here.
One thing when we're releasing these fish out here, what we do is try to dive their nose down. Once we know they're good in the live well, you can sort of feel them flexing up if you try to turn them. Well, then we nose dive them down, and we're hoping they'll get down down into the lower water columns. But if they come right back up and their back's out of the water, they're just resting. They're just fine. The only time we really worry about them is if they're belly up. Then we'll have to go back, pick them up, and revive them again.
All right, it's been a fantastic 2 days. We're bringing lines in right now. We don't want to get too greedy here. We've caught a bunch of nice fish. And most importantly, we got LA Rick over here from Lucky Tackle Box. His first muskies. He ended up catching 5 muskies, 1 giant one. So it's been an epic 2 days. We're going to wrap it up. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Join us next week. I have no idea where we're going to be, but I promise you one thing. We're going to be chasing after large North American game fish. Thanks for watching.